Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the InterSim Esports Network. Welcome to the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series on a Friday night here on the InterSim Esports Network. My name's Aidan Schultz. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Paul Jackson. He did have a little bit of a challenge there to me, saying how long I could make the good evening go for, and I just tried to see whether I could. And how do you reckon it went, Paul?
Absolutely terrible, because it cut out, as you said, good. And that was it.
That was my DJ voice, mate. Didn't I say that? That was my that was my inner Slim Shady coming out on a Friday night, because we are simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series Racing, and that's what brings the inner Slim Shady out. And also heard in my ear before we go on live, as we are in practice at the moment, and it's just about to switch over into qualifying. Jason Middleton was at the top there in practice. You got something for me in the race tonight, mate, and you're going to throw me under the bus by the sounds of that.
Well, not for the race, but I did go for a walk around Las Vegas earlier before the lights went down, and I did find someone special out there in the crowd. So,
did you find Samantha?
Oh, I did. I found
Samantha.
I thought it was Ryan's girlfriend now, but I did find Samantha. So have a look at this one here. So here's Samantha. She's got her best purple dress on over here. Look at this, all kitted up.
Oh, getting out there. So obviously supporting tonight. None of the Derek's in there tonight, so Derek will have to be concentrating, because Samantha's got a best purple dress on there in the crowd, and hopefully Derek goes all right. So we'll see how he goes, but we'll have to focus on Derek in qualifying just to see how he goes. He's had a wretched run of luck lately, but we'll see how he goes tonight. So we're on board with, at the moment, who is that? One of the Bin Chicane Racing guys, Brian Bullock, as we're into the qualifying session, the 5-minute standalone qualifying session, as we always do here for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. We see a lot of purple sectors come up. Adam Malone's just jumped purple sectors. Let's put him to the top with a 31.41. Second place at the moment, Brett Campbell. Darren McKenzie's just jumped up with 31.56 on board. Look at that, Mish's Garage. Michael Shaw up into third, Brian Bullock into second. Like, it's happening so quick, Paul. We won't call this too quick. We're a minute 43 into 5. But Shorey looking very comfortable in the next gen car tonight around Vegas. He must have gone and spruced a bit of his dollars or something down in the pokey machines or something down in the Vegas stretch, and he's looking forward to a good night tonight. Brett Campbell with a good run. There's Derek Jacobs putting it on for Samantha there, jumping up into 5th, now dropped back into 7th. Darren McKenzie's just gone up into 1st there as well with a 31.29. And then Jason Middleton, quickest in practice. Jason Middleton, where's he come from? I know Jason Middleton. I've had a couple of races against him of late, but really good driver out of the United States of America, and he's definitely showing the pace at the front. I believe he's actually a teammate or future teammate of the Southern Stars Esports racing team, but not sure if that's the case at the moment, but he's at the top there with a 31.21. DM, Darren McKenzie up there with a 31.29. Darren McKenzie coming off a good win in the trucks last night. Nice solid win, so he'll be looking to back that up again tonight. We're on board with the 47 there, Ray Zerkut. He had a nice solid night as well last night. Tristan Koch there, the Aussie Esports entry. See how he goes. Ray Zerkut's just jumped up with an identical time of Jason Middleton up into the front row at the moment. Brad Fenley second in the championship coming into this round. We'll see where he ends up in qualifying at the moment. He hasn't laid down a lap at this stage. We'll see where he ends up across the strike this time around. And Brad Fenley, that'll put him up into the 16th position. So not much pace on the 59 of Brad Fenley early on. Jamie Nankervis 5th in the championship coming into this round. We're on board with him at the moment. He's coming to do some late qualifying laps. So we'll see where Jamie Nankervis ends up. He's already done a lap and he was 5th on the 31.34. Looks like he bailed out on his second lap. On board now, that looks like Phelpsy. That's got to be Phelpsy in the 0-6. Ruben Phelps, 31.36 currently in 7th position. We'll see where he ends up this time across the strike. The 0-6 of Ruben Phelps And as he goes across the line, he's going to better his time and put himself up into 4th position with a 31.29, Paul.
Definitely, and yeah, I think that's qualifying done and dusted. Dave Oliver just jumping in as well, a late entry, I believe, to make it a 20-car field. So Dave
Photo jumping in lately.
Yeah, Photo. He's not going to have much time to get out into a qualifying lap if he does make it in. So I think that's all she wrote for qualifying there.
That's all she wrote. It's pretty close times at the front. It's only a 10th between 1st and 6th at the moment, or 5th. Tommy Pritchard rounding out the 5th position at the moment with a 31.30. So, but we've seen what it's like with these NASCAR next-gen cars. They're a different car to race. It's a lot super speedway type of racing. We do go to Vegas. It's going to be a tyre wear issue tonight, definitely. Vegas is. It's a bit more of a flatter track. It's not a super flat track, but managing your car is definitely going to be the key, and also managing it while you're in the tow, because when you're in behind these cars, you get the hot aero wash and you're going to wear a lot out of the front of the car. So it's who can manage it early, who has the pace, and who can manage it for the laps. We'll quickly go through the race notes for tonight while they're gridding up, if we can do that, Paul. No, we'll go into the grid. We'll go into the grid. So off the pole will be Jason Middleton out of the United States of America. It's a United States of American front row. Ray Zurkart out of P2. Darren McKenzie out of P3. Ruben Phelps out of New Zealand in P4. So it's America, Australia, New Zealand. Tom Pritchard out of P5. Jamie Nankervis out of P6. Norman Clark 7. Derek Jacobs out of the United States of America in P8. JCW, the man, JCW in P9, Adam Malone in P10, Andy Barber 11, Brad Fenley, second in the championship, coming into this one, will start out of the 12th position. In the 13th position will be Maxie Marshall, Michael Shaw out of 14, Brian Bullock 15, Brett Campbell, Aussie Esports in 16, Tristan Koch, Aussie Esports 17, Glenn Klein in 18, 19th out of Pinnacle Esports will be Justin Witcher. Do Photo, Dave Oliver, Binge Cane Racing will round out your 20-car grid, and we'll quickly go into the race notes for tonight. So it is 134 laps around Vegas, Las Vegas. Strap yourself in for 134 laps of what you could say lotto racing. It is all about the betting here in Las Vegas, and place your bets tonight on who you think is going to win, because you never know here for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. 75% fuel as always. They got 2 sets of tyres across the wall tonight, not including the ones they start on. So 2 sets of tyres to choose from. No fast repairs as always. 1 green and white checker if we do need that one. Of course, myself and Paul Jackson are in the booth bringing you all the action here tonight. Track notes there with length. It's a 1.5 mile track, 2.41 kilometres in the metric sense. And in the sim world, it's saying it's 4:35 p.m, but it looks a lot darker than that. So not sure it's that. But anyway, hope you're all tuning in here on the InterSim Esports Network. Be sure to jump in. Give us a bit of a shout out. Chat to us as you always do here on the InterSim Esports Network. I've got my beautiful partner Prue always over my back trying to give you a couple of little spicy questions tonight. It's not going to always be race related tonight, Paul. So we're going to give something a little bit different to the viewers. But I tell you what, let's not take anything away from Jason Middleton at the moment at the front. What a great qualifying for Jason Middleton out of the United States of America in that 42 to just outbeat Ray Zurkart, who'll start on the outside of the second row. So I tell you what, the Americans are in force tonight, taking that first row, mate.
Yeah, we haven't seen that before, a double US front row, so definitely be interesting to see what the boys have in store for the Aussie drivers tonight.
Yeah, and probably more so what the Aussie drivers have in store for the US drivers, because they've set the pace early. They've been doing it a lot more. They've been doing it a lot more with the leagues that they're running, and starting to be a lot more consistent, probably because they're starting to know the drivers they're running around. But I tell you what, the 42 of Jason Middleton is super quick, so don't be surprised if he doesn't lead this one early. And he's jumped early, and he probably needs to get told the rules, because I'm sure you got to go on the green, but he's jumped early, and Jason Middleton's got, they must be able to go whenever, but Jason Middleton's got the jump either way. It'll be Darren McKenzie, and that new livery, the 02 Southern Stars Esports livery. It's a different looking livery now, more white than what it is blue. He's jumped up into the second place early off this start, second place. Third place, Tommy Pritchard. So there's another Southern Stars Esports Racing. It's going to be a lot different here, Paul, calling Southern Stars Esports Racing, because you look at their liveries, they're a lot different to what we're used to calling. Phelpsy's sitting there in fourth. Ray Zerkart, after starting off the front rows, dropped right back at the moment into fifth. So he got caught a little bit napping off that early start. You can see Norman Clark there just sitting there. He's got JCW in behind him. Natari Autosport teammates in other leagues, they'll be working together tonight. But Norman Clark coming into this round 16 points the better of everyone else. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the second last round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. So this is probably a really big night for the 09 and Norman Clark. If he can get a nice solid night tonight, Paul, this is pretty much going to put him in position to be able to take home the trophy.
Definitely. He's already got a handful of points in front of Brad Fenley, so Brad Fenley's going to be wanting to have a strong night tonight as well to try and close that gap.
Yeah, he will, and we're on board with Brad Fenley at the moment. He's probably got a little bit of a different race at the moment as opposed to Norman Clark. Brad Fenley, as you can see there, sitting back in the 11th position. So he's just trying to navigate his way through the field, try and get up there with little incidents. At the moment, it's not about racing the cars around him, just racing his own race, because Norman Clark is up the road. But if he wants to get to the end of this and be in a position to gain some points on Norman, he needs to get to the end and get to the end cleanly. But at the moment, it still is Jason Middleton from the US in the front. He is leading the way over Darren McKenzie and Tom Pritchard. So it's USA, Australia, and New Zealand, 1, 2, 3, 4, and USA 5. So how good is it for diversity here for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series? We've got different nationalities all in the top 5 at the moment. And if you are tuned in here on the InterSim Esports Network, you're being really quiet tonight. We haven't seen any comments yet. We need to see some comments and keep us excited, but it is Jason Middleton leading the way in this one early, Paul.
Yeah, well, I'm really confused tonight. So
just tonight.
Well, yeah, just tonight.
Okay.
I'm not usually confused, but we're back early on Brad Fenley there, and I thought, oh yeah, he's surrounded by Andy Barber and Darren McKenzie there, and I'm like, hang on, that's not Darren McKenzie back there, that's Adam Malone, and Adam Malone's got a very similar blue on his car to Darren McKenzie, besides the number.
It's really weird because we're used to seeing Adam Malone with the green, the predominantly green car, so that's really different. But that's the way Southern Stars Esports Racing, they've changed their liveries up for 2022. They've decided to launch them now. Obviously, we did that in Aussie Esports about a month ago, so we probably prematurely did you-know-what. But, yeah, they've now decided to launch their 2022 liveries, and they do look amazing, mate. They're a good-looking car, different for us to call here on the InterSim Esports Network, but they definitely look good. As the 35 of Joshua Carroll-Walden now is trying to get down the inside of Ray Zerkart. He's going to get that job done through turns 1 and 2, and he's going to have his eyes forward to try and catch this front pack, which is led by Jason Middleton, Darren McKenzie, Ruben Phelps, and Tom Pritchard at the moment. So it's a little bit spicy in the back at the moment. The mid to backfield, they're still racing pretty hard, but the top 4 at the moment, they've got nearly a second on Joshua Carroll-Walden, and the top 4 are just skipping away a little bit early in this one, Paul.
Sorry.
No, you're right. You were off doing something else. But Michael Shaw at the moment, he's trying to make moves. He's up 2 spots. We're on board with Michael Shaw. He's up 2 spots on his starting position. He started out of 14th. He's into 12th. So he's trying to make some moves up at the moment. Looks like he's going to get the job done on Andy J. Barber there, down across the strike. Next one for Michael Shaw to tackle is going to be Adam Malone, Brad Fenley, and Derek Jacobs in front of us as well. So Michael Shaw, he's come off podium in the NASCAR Next Gen Series last week out. He actually won it. So Michael Shaw, definitely no one that doesn't know how to put that 07 into victory lane. But Brad Fenley needs to get out of this one pretty quick, because this is either going to work really well or really bad for his championship if he gets caught up with something. As they go 3 wide, Jamie Nankervis on the outside, in the middle. On the outside of that is Andy Barber. So 3 wide into turn number 1 and 2 around Vegas, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Once again, it looks like Brad Fenley's going to get that job done, as they're a little bit twitchy there. They don't want to hit each other, so giving each other a lot of room there, which was really good to see. So Brad Fenley's got that job done, so he's cleared Jamie Nankervis. So Brad Fenley now up into the 10th position. So the only one Brad needs to race tonight is Norman Clark. Norman Clark sitting in the 7th position. But this little 4-car battle at the moment, they're 2 seconds down the road on the rest of everyone. So Jason Middleton, Darren McKenzie, Ruben Phelps, Tom Pritchard, they're just going to work together a little bit here and try and stretch the gap, because we've seen what it's been like in these NASCAR Next Gens. NASCAR Next Gens, don't laugh at me, Paul. NASCAR Next Gens, but you've seen what it's like. You get the draft and all that type of stuff. You can quite easily get a gap, but it can definitely change when you have people work in behind you. And Joshua Carroll-Walden's a little bit of a sitting duck at the moment. He's got nowhere to go. He's sitting in 5th. He does have Adam Malone, Ray Zerkup, Derek Jacobs in behind him, as you can see that battle pack on the screen at the moment. So the more that these guys are doing this, that's allowing the front group to just slowly gap. But we're going to go into pit stops, and Derek Jacobs drew the middle through turn number 1 and 2. I would have thought Derek Jacobs would have learnt this, that he puts his car in a bad point sometimes, but he's got Samantha up in the crowd now. He's actually got her here. We saw that on the pre-show, so he's trying to get his guns out there and try and do a good job tonight. Thank you, darling. So my beautiful partner Prue's just come in and given us some questions, Paulina.
Oh, thanks, Aiden.
Oh, no worries, Paulina. But no, seriously, these guys through this pack at the moment, as much as it is great racing, the more they do this is just allowing the likes of Jason Middleton, Darren McKenzie, Ruben Phelps and Tom Pritchard to just extend their legs at the front of this one. And what we've seen in the full throttle sim racing leagues and the simracermerch.com Next Gen series, not so much in the Next Gen series, but in other leagues, a lot of them have gone green to the end. So this is not really good. If we were to go green to the end at the moment, these guys we see on screen, and Brad Fenley being one of them, going up the inside of Joshua Carroll-Walden, it's going to be interesting to see what happens through the green flag stops, because they're going to be reliant on a caution to even be in contention. And saying that, we're talking really early. It's only 16 into 134. But if we did go green to the end, it would be very interesting to see how this played out, as Brad Fenley getting really close to Joshua Carroll-Walden there through what we could say is a tri-oval around Las Vegas. But Brad Fenley jumping at Martin Hallinan. Go, Brad. You can get this championship, old man. Brad Fenley, Martin Hallinan here. Good to see you, Martin. Mate, it was great to call the Procar GTE Championship, and you did a great job. So thanks for tuning in on the InterSim Esports Network, mate. It's really good to see you here. It's good to see another face joining here on the InterSim Esports Network, Paul.
Yeah, definitely. Always good to see some of the drivers we call come back and support us as well. So and support other drivers and their mates in other leagues that they run as well.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's all about inclusiveness. And Mark Joe, lap 60 caution. He's just completely jinxed that. Kylie Rock's jumping in. Hi, Mag, saying good evening to Margaret Shannon. Good evening to you, ladies. Thank you for tuning in on the InterSim Esports Network. Good run by your young fellow Kylie last night. Ryan Barber in the trucks. Good run by him. So be proud of that one. And he's very close to getting the IndyCar win next week, or this week rather. Is it this week? No, next week on Monday night. So he's been doing a great job. So keep him strong and get him to push on and get that win. He's been doing really good lately. But his father, on another hand, we'll talk about that on another broadcast. We won't talk about Andy Barber. He's in there at the moment. He's back in 15th. But no, Andy's a good dude. He's doing great. So At the moment, Jason Middleton, Ruben Phelps, Darren McKenzie, Tom Pritchard leading the way. It looks like Ruben's just tried to jump up, but let's stay on board with the battle pack. We're on board with Andy Barber at the moment. Let's give the viewers what they want to see at the moment. We can see Margaret Shannon and Kylie. Kylie is Andy's better half, and I do need to say better half. They're watching at the moment, as it does get a little bit spicy in front, but Kylie's Andy's better half. Let's jump on board with Andy and let their supporters watch their team go around a couple of laps around Las Vegas Speedway. So we'll jump on board with Andy Barber. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of laps around Las Vegas with the man Andy J. Barber. I tell you what, it's a battle pack there for the mid-pack to back-pack. It's pretty much anywhere from fourth back at the moment. It is a battle pack all the way down. Brian Bullock's off the back of this by about 1.5 seconds, but don't look away. Brad Fenley has not been happy to stay in this pack. He wants to lead the way at the moment, and he needs to do that because he's wanting to chase down Norman Clark. But Norman Clark's dropped back in this one as well. So this is going to be great for Brad Fenley for the championship at the moment. But we do know here on the InterSim Esports Network, anything can change here for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. But Jason Middleton, Ruben Phelps, Darren McKenzie does have a 6-second lead at the front of this one. But I'll tell you what, we need to keep our eyes on this little battle. Brad Fenley on the outside of Joshua Carroll Walden. It's weird to see it's Adam Malone on the outside. It's really weird because it looks a lot like Darren McKenzie. Hey, like you said earlier, it's really weird. We're not used to seeing that one. You can see Andy Barber there. He's got the red with the green on the inside as well. Tommy Pritchard's a part of this as well with the yellow. So is that Darren McKenzie? Derek Jones, yeah, they're completely throwing us out here on the InterSim Esports Network. But, well, this is going on, mate. We're now, what are we? We are, let me just have a look. We are, if my computer catches up, we're 26,134. We're going to go into, there it is. Andy Barber, Tristan Koch involved in that one. Joshua Carroll Walden. There's the first incident. So it looks like Andy Barber, Joshua Carroll Walden, that's night over for JCW. He won't be coming out again. That's night over. We'll go to the Inside Lane Productions replay, see what happened. But Andy Barber, Josh Carroll Walden. So Andy Barber, Joshua Carroll Walden into the right-hand rear there. Right-hand rear, that's going to send him into the fence. Nothing Andy could do. Brad Fenley just getting past. Tristan Koch just getting collected on the right-hand rear. He's going to make friends with the outside wall. Not the way he wanted to start his race. He's going to have damage. And, yeah, that from such a early, nice, clean start, that was really surprising, to be honest, Paul. I thought we were going to go green to the end, but it is Jason Middleton leading the way. Phelpsy's up into P2. Darren McKenzie, P3, Tom Pritchard in P4. They're definitely going to make their way down pit lane and make their way for service for the first time tonight. There's going to be a couple of people that need to take a couple of repairs. Obviously, there's no fast repairs, so if you do have damage, you're going to have to sit there for a little bit, but this is the time definitely to take that one. So let's just take time to restock a little bit, Paul. We do have the questions, right? So
the hangover. Oh, wait, you hadn't asked a question yet?
No, I hadn't. But that's a good guess. good guess. Like, it could be one of the answers. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, tune in on the NCME Sports Network, my beautiful partner, Prue. She gave me these questions. And like I always say, I have the answers in front of me, but I always get them wrong because I'm pretty simple. But this is not motorsport related. So we're going to completely mix it up tonight. We're getting to the end of our broadcasting for a little while. So we just want to have a little bit of fun here on the NCME Sports Network and create a little bit of engagement to you, the viewers, and enjoy our last couple of broadcasts because we've enjoyed bringing everything to you. So, Paul, and all the viewers, but I'll ask you, Paul, as always. First question of the night, as we're under caution, as Jason Middleton will lead us to the green next time around. What is always coming but never arrives?
This is a very wrong question, Aiden.
It's not a wrong question. Don't take it out of context, Paul. What is always coming but never arrives? I actually feel this is wrong because when I read it, I don't agree with it, but it's pretty true.
Even just you saying it, you know, what is coming and never.
We can get better. We can get better. Righto, let's forget that question. We can get better if you think that's inappropriate. What gets wetter the more it dries?
Oh, I know these bloody questions. I've heard these before, but...
They're dad jokes, mate.
I know they are, and that's why I know them, but my mind's just running blank at the moment. Oh, Darren McKenzie tomorrow. So Darren's on the board there, and so's Mark Joe.
Anyone know why Justin Witcher was removed from tonight's race and removed from the league's Discord? Yeah, Raymond, no idea, mate. Probably better you just talk to people in the league. Got no idea about that. But Mark Joe said tomorrow. Darren McKenzie said tomorrow as well. So, Darren, concentrate on racing, DJ or DM. But you're correct, boys. Tomorrow. I didn't really get that, but I'm probably a little bit simple. So, that is correct. Yeah, interesting. So, anyway, we'll go to another one. We're going green now, though. And Jason Middleton's leading the way. Darren McKenzie, the man who just tries to comment while he's driving.
So what was the second question?
I'm not sure.
What's get wetter is what?
What gets wetter the more it dries?
A towel.
You Googled that.
No.
I don't want to hear your Google question.
I thought about it while I was sitting here, and I'm like, I'm wet and dry. Yep, towel. I've got it. I'm on the board.
You're on the board. It's only taken you 64,000 weeks, but you're on the board. But no, yeah, it definitely is the answer. But I'm more surprised that Darren McKenzie, currently sitting in second position, has commented on the stream while he's driving and had time to answer the question. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself as well. How can he type that out while he's trying to drive around Las Vegas?
No, I know what's happening. His partner's on his Facebook and she's watching the broadcast and she's typed it for him. We ain't silly, at least. Well, we can't not be. I don't know. If he's done that, like seriously, I struggle to keep these things in a straight line when I'm in a straight line, let alone commenting while I'm driving, and then I struggle even commentating about it. So anyway, we'll see how we go. But we're off the start again. It still is Jason Middleton leading the way. Darren McKenzie second. Adam Malone in third. Ruben Phelps fourth. Tommy Pritchard one hand in fifth. And Jamie Nankervis, your fifth place getter, coming in to this round. Fifth place in the championship, that is. He's sitting back there in sixth at the moment. Derek Jacobs sitting there in seventh. We might have to have a chat with Derek and let him know we've got Samantha up in the crowd. But funny thing is, every time we do talk to DJ, he seems to crash out. So I'm not sure whether it's the time to be able to talk to him at the moment. Andy Barber's gone a lap down. Dave Oliver's 2 laps down. Brian Bullock, Joshua Crowell-Walden, a lot of people a lap down from that incident. That's definitely going to hurt. Not sure why Justin Witcher wasn't allowed into this one. So unfortunate there for Justin, but look forward to seeing you in the leagues moving forward. And Michael Shaw there, sitting there in Michael Shaw battling for the 8th position.
Well, Aiden, I'm going to get back to you then. If we're telling dad jokes tonight, then you're you're a bit of a boatman and a fisherman. I know you've got a.
Only on Friday night.
You like to get out and do a little bit of fishing.
I do. I do like getting out on Prue and I's boat, and we do like having a bit of a fish and doing that. Yes, we do.
So, where do boats go when they're sick?
Oh, this is a dag joke 101. The Flormatorium.
I don't know. Where did you even come up with that?
Well, I think Flormatorium, I think the ocean floor, and crematorium. Flormatorium.
Yeah, no. You're way off there.
Oh, well, I tried. See? I don't know. A better place. Oh, no, give me the answer. Stop making me look like an idiot.
They're sick. They're not dying.
You said they sunk. I thought you said when they sink, not when they're sick.
They're sick.
Where
do boats go when they're sick?
I don't know, Paul. Where do they go, mate?
To the boat dock.
Oh my God. You're kidding. That is bad dad joke 101. Oh, if I could say the joke I really want to say here on the Indosim Esports Network, we'll never be allowed to broadcast again. So we'll just leave that right alone.
You better PM me that one then.
As Jason Middleton leads the way over Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone. So Southern Stars Esports Racing. It's actually a Southern Stars 1, 2, 3 at the moment because I believe Middleton's going to be a part of Southern Stars. And they've probably made they have made a little bit of a gap now at the moment over Ruben Phelps, Tom Pritchard, Jamie Nankervis, and Michael Shaw. Derek Jacobs dropping back a little bit at the moment. Kylie's just jumped in and goes boat dock. So Andy's partner just jumped in and goes, yeah, boat dock. Here I'm talking about like ocean floor and stuff. I've got no idea. But you got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, just a couple of weeks ago we were talking about a logo and I was talking about palm trees and coconuts. I couldn't even get that right. So don't judge me. But Jason Middleton, Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone still leading the way. I tell you what, Paul, have you been watching any of the cricket? We're not going to talk about the cricket and try and commentate it like we see other things, but have you been watching any of the cricket, mate?
No, I can just look at Facebook for that. So there's daily updates from everyone on Facebook, and the only thing I really took much notice of was old mate getting out on the first ball of the game.
Well, yeah, that was pretty much me too, mate, to be honest. I listened to it on Triple M up here in Brisbane because I'm based in Brisbane. Paul's down in Albury, New South Wales. And I listened to the first ball on Triple M up here in Brisbane, and it was like, yeah, got him, move on. And then that was pretty much it. But Australia's doing a great job, and Margaret Shannon is face palming because Kylie Rocks is too busy talking about docking. So, boat dock. Oh, Paul, if you would have heard what he said to me. Anyway, let's go back to the race. Jason Middleton leading the way. It is 1, 2, 3. Jason Middleton, Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone leading the way at the moment. Jason Middleton doing a great job. He hasn't been part of this series much at all, and he's led from start to where we are at the moment. He was that way in the trucks the other night as well until he had a big date with the outside wall and Samantha wasn't there to patch him up as Derek Jacobs usually has to worry about. But yeah, Jason Middleton in the 42 doing a great job. Darren McKenzie there sitting there in second. Adam Malone in third. So now Ruben Phelps is off the back of this one. And he's sitting back there in fourth. Jamie Nankervis in fifth. Michael Shaw in sixth. Tom Pritchard seventh. Brett Campbell eighth. Derek Jacobs ninth. Ray Zerkart in 10th. And my apologies, Kylie. We're just laughing, but on the broadcast the other night when your son was saying really inappropriate things, it was, I still think you need to have a chat to your son about those things. He's getting a little bit loose. But anyway, we're going and we're racing. But Paul, it's been good racing so far. We're already 44 into 134, so we've only got 90 to go. happening really quickly. You got Andy Barber on the outside line there, just letting these guys go. Andy just trying to get some nice solid points in this one. So it's been some nice solid racing and pretty clean at the front, apart from that one incident.
Pretty much, and it's interesting to see that your top 3 and top 4 earlier before the caution just had that breakaway, and it's happened again, Aiden.
Yeah, it happens really quickly. It's to be honest with you, Paul, we both race this car, and that's the only thing that concerns me about this car. It's a great car to drive, but it doesn't really show the true, what we're all used to growing up with NASCAR and the way that they work. They're very aero dependent, and you can understand that on a super speedway like Daytona and Talladega. Of course, they're going to be restrictor plate racing. But, we're on a 1.5 mile oval tonight, or 1.6 mile. It's not restrictor plate racing, and it seems a little bit like that to an extent. Definitely not through the corners, but if you lose that draft, etc., you're definitely gone. But in the same time, if you're driving it in too hard, you're going to push up high through the corner and wear your stuff. So I suppose it comes down to driver ability and driver awareness of where their car is, and knowing when to push hard early and when to push hard late. That's the difference with the car. And I'll be honest with you, Paul, that's what I've not got my head around with this car so far. So not saying we both haven't had good results. It's not about our results. It's just the car in general with iRacing and the way that it drives. I know a lot of guys aren't a fan. I know a lot of people are a fan. But from the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series perspective, I know a lot of these drivers are. And I'll tell you what, it has created some great racing, whether you like them or not. But iRacing is just going to continue doing updates, and these cars are just going to become better and better.
Well, they've already made their first update with these cars, as they've moved that number forward as well. So you'll notice on everyone's liveries there that the number's right up behind the front wheel there now.
They are, and I don't know if you noticed, I saw something on Facebook today or yesterday. They did a bit of dirt practice too. They were doing some dirt practice because we know that the trucks in the NASCAR series do go to dirt tracks now again, which was the first time this year in a long time when they went to Bristol Dirt and did all that type of stuff. So they're doing a bit of dirt practice as well. So it's going to be great to see how these cars transition into 2022 and see what iRacing does to update them, because they're already an amazing car. Hard to drive, probably why I don't like them. But in saying that, it creates some good racing. But going into 2022, and we even talked about the last update, did you see the Mercedes Formula One car they just brought out in the last update, Paul?
I did see the car. I have not bought it yet, but I also have been reading that you can only use iRacing paints on that car, and if anyone tampers with the car paints and liveries, that they could face getting their iRacing account suspended.
Well, that's interesting. Why release a car that you can't paint? But anyway, that's not for us to decide. That's iRacing to decide. But it looks like a good car to run. I did see Aussie Car. Don't mean to mention another league while we're broadcasting, but I did see Aussie Car the other night run the first round that they've run in the Formula 3s. And that was a really good race to watch. I watched that back as well. So a lot of the open wheel stuff has become really good as well. There was a lot of updates too on the, I call them 2-litre touring cars, with like the BMWs, the V-dubs and stuff like that. So a lot of different racing and a lot of different stuff being updated and different cars brought in to the iRacing server. But that's really cool. But we're all about the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series at the moment, as we're on board with Tommy Pritchard. He's sitting in the 7th position. He's trying to chase down Michael Shaw in front of him. He's got Jamie Nankervis in front of him. Ruben Phelps at the moment in 4th position, but that's still a 3-second lead at the moment in front, held by Jason Middleton, Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone.
And that gap doesn't really look like it's closing either. It looks like it's still extending from those 3 cars at the front, even though you got the 6 cars behind pretty much in a line there. So that gap isn't closing at all.
Yeah, it's not closing, and I'm just looking at the comments again. So it looks like they're talking about why Justin Witcher couldn't get into the server, but we'll keep back on into the race at the moment. That's through Facebook, Paul. So we'll keep on at the race at the moment. Tommy Pritchard there trying to make his way up. Let's go on board with Tom Pritchard. Will allow me to just go and get a drink and catch my breath. And we'll go on board with Tom Pritchard. We're 55 now into 134. It's getting down pretty quickly. And at the moment, it still is. Wow. It is still Jason Middleton, Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone with 3.7 second lead over the rest of the field. We're on board with now Tom Pritchard. Sit back, relax and enjoy a couple of laps around Las Vegas Speedway, rather, with Tom Pritchard. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of laps around Las Vegas Speedway with the man, one hand, Tom Pritchard, chasing down Michael Shaw at the moment. I am seeing in the comments, though, more and more about why Justin Witcher wasn't allowed in the race. I've got no idea about that. But I will say that I'll be taking over the league as of this Sunday. So anyone has any comments about that or need to get people in, just let me know. Because it will be rebranded to the Global iRacing Leagues moving into 2022. So big thank you to Michael Shaw for allowing me to take that over, and there'll be a lot of changes and a lot of things happening on. And it's a big thank you also to Michael Shaw for everything he's done to allow these guys to race. But in relation to Justin Witcher, I've got no idea what's happening there. But at the moment now, it's Jason Middleton still leading the way. He's got a lap car in front of him. Looks like that's Do Photo in front of him. He's trying to get the job done on him. Darren McKenzie just sitting there and behind Jason at the moment. So Darren just sitting there. They're trying to do teamwork at the moment. Adam Malone there in third position as well. So you're not going to see anything change here for the top three at the moment. Ruben Phelps, he's 4 seconds off the back of this battle. But this is just going to be teamwork for the next 30 or 40 laps. Probably even all the way to the end, and just try and save their fuel a little bit. So if there's no cautions, this might get a little bit mundane for a little bit. But you know what that means, Paul?
Trivia!
All right. It's the best part of your night here on the InterSim Esports Network, apart from the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series course, as Jason Middleton leads the way over Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone. We go into our trivia because we know you like it. So we need to, of course, say comment. Paul, you can obviously give your answer to the trivia, but we need you all commenting. We can see you there watching. Comment and let me know your answer, right? So my beautiful partner, Prue, has come up with these questions. And they're not all race-related, as we just seen. All right. Question for you. What can one catch that is not thrown? What can one catch that is not thrown?
A cold.
Paul, you suck. This is not good. Prue, you need your questions are too easy, darling.
So they're easy because I'm getting them right now, are they?
Yeah, so when they have substance about racing, Paul gets them wrong, but when they're absolutely no relevance to anything, he gets them right. So,
well, I am a dad myself, so I've got to know all these dad jokes.
You got to remember, Prue. Prue's yelling at me in the background, going, "He's googling." No, you got to remember, Prue. He's a dad. So, what do you call a Mexican that lost his car?
Carlos.
I've already said that one. What? What's Kobe saying?
Well, you should be able to see the chat there. Kobe's saying a very
Herpes.
inappropriate.
Kobe, behave yourself, mate. This is a kid's dream, so behave yourself, KJ. But all right, another question. Oh well, this gets better. This gets better. What goes up but never comes down?
Well, I could give you my answer to that, but it'll definitely be inappropriate.
What, the thermometer? When you put it out in the sun, and it's in the middle of the day.
Well, I don't put mine out in the sun in the middle of the day.
Are we still talking about the thermometer, or?
Definitely.
Okay, yeah. So what goes up but never goes down? Don't Google it, Paul.
I'm thinking here. I know this one too.
We gotta let everyone know. Andy's out. We need to talk to Andy. Hang on. Where's Andy? Is he going to want to have a chat? No, looks like he's disconnected. Andy's not happy.
Ooh, Brad Elson jumping in saying your age.
Bradley, you're not only a good-looking man, you're a really smart one too, mate. You're exactly right. So it is. It's your age. It is definitely the answer.
I was thinking a balloon for some reason, but yeah.
I've got a real old one here, right? So Prue's written this down, but this is a real old one, and you've probably seen it, right? Or heard it. But I'm going to ask it anyway. And, well, we are at Vegas, so it's no holds barred tonight. So, but it still is Jason Middleton, Darren McKenzie, and Adam Malone leading the way. They've got 5 seconds over Ruben Phelps. Let's not get away from the racing too much. Brett Campbell doing a great job up in the 7th position as well at the moment. He's up 9 spots. He's got TK Tristan Koch there in 8th, right behind him. So the Aussie esports guys having a good little battle at the moment. But if a plane crashes at the border between the United States and Canada, where do they bury the survivors?
Was that supposed to be your trivia question?
Yep.
If we're playing what between the border?
If a plane crashes on the border between the United States and Canada, where do they bury the survivors?
I got nothing for that.
Are you kidding? Did we just get you on the most simplest one ever?
I'm thinking Mexico for some reason, but
okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know.
Paul, Brad's just jumped in and goes, Paul, when was the last time you heard of a balloon that went up and never come down? A helium balloon, Brad, but it does come through when it pops. It does come down when it pops and it gets too high. But we've got Jason Middleton coming into pit lane. We've got some pit action at the moment as Paul just tries to think about the question that was actually the most easiest question ever. So you'll have to rue that one for a little bit. But Phelpsy's now taken the lead over Michael Shaw, Tom Pritchard, Brett Campbell, Ray Zerkart and Norman Clark. So the 0-6 of Ruben Phelps for the first time tonight takes the point, 71 into 134. Now he's blinking, coming into pit lane. Can he get that one stopped? Nice. And he's going to get that one done into pit lane as well. So here are some green flag pit stops. Once again, Michael Shaw's going to lead a lap tonight. And don't be surprised if we... Brad Allison's just jumped in. He goes, in the ground, dummy. So his answer to the question was, if a plane crashes on the border between the United States and Canada, where do you bury the survivors? His answer was the dummy, was the ground. And Margaret's jumped in and goes, us survivors, pretty sure they won't want to be buried. And Kobe says survivors don't die. So have a think about that one, Paul. Where do you bury the survivors, mate?
Yeah, after I saw those comments, because I didn't really get the question too much there when you asked it the first time. That's like, so what? So I believe it was the poor way you asked that question there. See,
no, mate, you got to say it in that way, because like we've done probably 600 hours of broadcasting here on the Indus Esports Network, and if you don't know the rubbish that comes out of my mouth by now, you've got another 20,000 hours of hell. But yes, you're exactly right. That Brad Ellison jumping in. But anyway, let's go back to the point. Michael Shaw leading the way. Let's not take away from the motor race. We just try and mix it up a little bit. Michael Shaw doing a great job at the moment. He's just going to make his way into pit lane. So he's a couple of laps later than the drivers behind him. He's going to see there. That's the likes there. Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone. But in saying that, they've got to go around the whole way to get that lap back on Michael Shaw. Michael Shaw's going to drop a little bit back here because of the fresh tyres. So we'll see what happens. Middleton's had an oopsie in pits. So Jason Middleton's stationary longer than he wanted and out of the lead of this motor race. That's pretty much put Jason Middleton out of contention if this goes green to the end. So Michael Shaw in pit lane. The ones to watch are Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone, Ruben Phelps as well. Ruben Phelps made a lot of gain through pit lane. He's only sitting 1.9 seconds, 2 seconds off the front at the moment in this battle pack. But that is dropping back at 1,000,000 miles an hour because Ruben's got no one to help him. So Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone in the box seat at the moment. Don't know why we don't. Oh, still wanted to chat to Andy Barber. He's not there. He's disconnected. He doesn't want to talk to us when he has a bad race. Want to have a chat to him. Andy, jump up and have a chat to us. But Brad, feel free to jump in the Discord too and have a chat to us as well. Kobe, feel free to jump up into the Discord as well, mate. We spoke to you last week or the week before. Just have a chat to us, mate. Help us bring all the action. We like to have a bit of fun here on the Indus Esports Network. But I tell you what, Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone, they have been a class above early. This is what teamwork is right here. And Kobe's exactly right. How good do those liveries look? They look stunning. And what a great job Andy Barber did.
Yeah, and we've got to give a big shout out to Andy Barber as well for doing a livery for both Aiden and myself to run a Bathurst 1000 event next weekend.
Yeah, he did a great job. We're running the Indus Esports Network custom livery designed by Andy Barber. So obviously it's not Southern Stars or anything, but it's an Indus Esports Network custom livery. You're going to see us in the race against Andy Barber and Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone, Tom Pritchard. So if you are tuning in on the broadcast, you'll watch us, I wouldn't say kick their bum, but possibly be out in the first 5 laps. But I don't know, we'll see how we go. But anyway, the car will look good nonetheless, Paul. That's the main thing, eh?
Well, while it's sitting there on the grid, it will. But when we take off, I don't know.
Well, that's why you're starting. I haven't told you that yet, but you're starting. But at the moment, Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone and Ruben Phelps leading the way. But that gap at the front is really stretching out. Ruben Phelps in the middle of no man's land at the moment, 79 into 134. They will have to stop again, though. So bar no cautions, it is a race of Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone to is a race for Adam Malone and Darren McKenzie to lose. And Jamie Nankervis doing a good job there in 5th at the moment. But the one doing a good job, hey Kobe, everyone dies. Kobe, you are not in bed getting a massage. I don't want to know about that, Kobe. You are not getting a massage. And if you're getting a massage watching us here on the Indus Esports Network, Paul, now we know we've made it, mate. We've made it. We've got someone tuning in getting a massage.
Well,
so I know I've been concentrating on the massage, but
he must really like your dulcet tones if he's getting a massage in bed while watching and listening to you.
Mate, wait till you hear my a cappella, because it is amazing. But Brad Fenley, Derek Jacobs there, sorry, in 8th position. I tell you one to watch is, Brad Fenley's just gone in pit lane. So I was talking about Brad Fenley because I thought he got a couple of positions on Norman Clark, but he just went into pit lane. So this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Derek Jacobs in the 8th position at the moment. That's Norman. No, it's not Norman Clark in behind him. That is Glenn Klein in behind him. Glenn Klein a lap down. So this is going to help Derek Jacobs. Derek Jacobs having one of the more solid runs that he's had. And Sarah K. Jesberg tunes in. Must be Kobe's missus or something. He really is. Yeah, of course Sarah's related to Will Jesberg. Would have to be. But he really is. Well, that's commitment. So, Sarah, you're tuning in watching as well. So that doesn't count, though. It doesn't help us if you're all tuning in on the same thing because we've probably got 30 viewers and then we got whatever watching. But, mate, I got nothing to that. Well, first time we've ever had someone laying down getting a massage watching the Intersim Esports Network.
Well, I was going to go back to Brad's comment there about in the ground and everyone does, and I was actually thinking if a plane crashed, then being the US government and that, then they might just go and shoot everyone anyway and cover it up as a conspiracy, or it could be a UFO and an alien landing, and they end up in Area 51 or anything.
Are you bringing politics into the Sim Esports Network? So we're going into having a couple of months off break, and you decide now it's to break into politics. Let's do it. Let's just send it. Anyway, it still is Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone leading the way. They've stretched the gap out at the moment to 10.5 seconds over Ruben Phelps and Tom Pritchard. Do photo, Dave Oliver sitting there in behind as well. Brad Allison watching the comments, bud. But at the moment, these two boys from Southern Stars Esports Racing at the front, Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone, this is their race to lose at the moment. One hand there in number 6, Tom Pritchard, one hand. If you want to know why he's one hand, tune in to the other broadcasts. And anyone that knows Tom Pritchard, you know why he's called one hand. But Tom Pritchard sitting there in the 4th position. Jamie Nankervis in behind. He's got Brad Fenley in between them at the moment. Brad Fenley is 2 laps down, so he's not a part of this battle. So this is a battle for the 4th and 5th position with Brad Fenley in between this at the moment. So I'm still a little bit weird here with Ruben Phelps sitting in 3rd. He's got no one to help. So the top 3 at the moment are pretty much set in as we're 86 into 134. But I tell you what, Jamie Nankervis, Tom Pritchard, if they work a little bit, they'll be able to pull up onto the back of the 06 of Ruben Phelps. He's got Brian Bullock in behind him as well. So that's going to start helping Ruben Phelps try and just get that gap down a little bit on Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone. But we're looking at the interval at the moment, it's still sitting around that 10 seconds, which is about 1/3 of the track behind the leaders, so a long way to catch up. But Southern Stars Esports Racing 1 and 2 at the moment. I don't know. Let's tune into the viewers. Should we bring up Darren McKenzie or Adam Malone and have a chat while they're racing? Should we throw them under the bus? We shouldn't really do that, should we? Brad Allison. That's all I need to say. Brad Allison. But, let's do it. Let's throw him under the bus. Let's move him up in here. We're going to do it. They're 10 seconds down the road. Had a good race with him last night and good mate of mine, so we'll bring him up. Darren McKenzie. Let's do it. So, where is he? We've got to bring him up. He's into the booth. DM, Darren McKenzie, Schultze and Paul in the broadcast booth. I know you're 10 seconds down the road now, 12, 13 seconds down the road of Ruben, you and Adam moving pretty well at the front there, mate. I didn't mean to bring you up unannounced, but I knew you were in a pretty relaxed part of the race, and we thought we could bring you up and have a chat. How do you think yourself and the number 4, Adam Malone, obviously your other teammate, Jason Middleton, you was working together at the front, and he had an unfortunate incident there through the pit stop. How you two feeling at the front at the moment? You got this one covered?
Yeah, car feels like it's on rails. Don't have to lift, just hold it flat, super speedway style. And yeah, it's a pity that Jason had the speeding on pit entry, so he lost 40-second hold there and just retired the car.
Yeah, unfortunate because he was super quick. He put it off the pole position. We've seen him quick, obviously, in other things as well, in the trucks and in the Gen 6 cars, but you two at the front at the moment are doing a great job. You're coming off a good win last night in the trucks as well, so you're backing up again tonight with a nice solid result currently. Don't mean to throw you under the bus. We're 91 into 134. It's definitely a race of yourself and Adam to lose.
Yeah, definitely. We've been saying that for most of the race. We've been pulling away, so it's just a matter of keeping pace and not doing anything silly. We're just unsure of how the standings sit at the moment, so yeah, so hopefully we can get word of what that is, and if Adam needs the points more than I do, I'll let him through at the end.
Well, you two were second and third coming into the championship. Norman Clark was leading it. Norman's currently in 8th position, 1 lap down. So whatever you guys doing at the moment are definitely going to move you up in the championship anyway. So all you two can do at the moment is finish 1 and 2, and the points will take pretty much their own thing. Like it'll take care of itself, mate. But you're doing a great job. We'll let you get back up there and concentrate. Thanks for letting us bring you up here on the Indosim Esports Network, and hopefully you don't block me and let me win next week.
No worries. Hopefully I'll be back up in about half hour and we'll have another chat.
Mate, no doubt you will. Anyway, mate, go up, have some fun, and we'll talk soon. All right, there we go, Paul. Darren McKenzie up into the broadcast booth while he's leading the race. There we go.
And Ruben Phelps looks like made a pit stop. So
Jamie has as well, by the looks of it too. Jamie Nankervis coming down pit lane.
Well, I think he's on his way out, and Ruben's about to come past him there.
This is interesting though, Paul, because Ruben pretty much through that whole stint was pretty much in no man's land, and he lost a lot to Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone. And that was really hard for Ruben. And when he did get help by Do Photo and Brian Bullock, it was sort of a little bit too late. You can see now, yeah. Jump into, unmute your mic, mate. Just jump in and say it because, yeah, it's gapped out. Ruben Phelps, he will end up in 3rd position when all this does play out. But I tell you what, like I said earlier in the broadcast, this isn't a super speedway, but you hear the likes of Darren McKenzie say this is just super speedway racing, and you just flat out. And that's generally not what Las Vegas brings. So that's interesting because Ruben Phelps has had a pretty lonely race there in 3rd, and he's had nowhere to go, but he's still doing a great job. But I tell you what, the two at the front have done the best job. They've known what the racetrack is. They've known what the race car is. They've known what they've needed to do to win. And this is teamwork 101. They've still got a pit. They last pitted on lap 70. It's 97 into 134. The closest to them at the moment who's gone through pit lane is Ruben Phelps. He went through on lap 90. So he thinks he can get to the end, which will give him 44 laps under a green tank. So under a full tank. So Phelps, he's sort of just trying to do it and try and do the undercut. That's pretty much all he's got. But while these two at the front are working together, the undercut's not really going to help unless Ruben has someone to work with to try and go around this motor track and try and, bridge that gap. But at the moment, these two guys at the front are absolutely doing a great job from the Southern Stars Esports racing team. Like, they've had a faultless night. They've stayed at the front. They knew what it to be at the front. They knew what it wanted to happen. We haven't seen cautions. Like I said, we're usually seeing 5, 6, 7 cautions here on the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series, and we've only seen one tonight. And this is the first time in several weeks we've seen these guys run green for a long time and actually get an idea of how these cars run under a long green flag period and be able to make those decisions.
Yeah, and it's interesting that, as you mentioned, we'll go back here, as they said about super speedway style racing at Vegas, but yet as we had the top 4 and the top 3 break away, yet the larger packs couldn't catch them. So if it was super speedway racing, then those larger packs should have caught up on the smaller packs.
Yeah, I thought that too, Paul. But from my summary or surmises or whatever technical word you want to say, from what I saw earlier when that second pack was getting 3 seconds behind, that was when Joshua Carroll-Walden was still part of this race and was racing. They were too busy going 2 or 3 wide. You could probably get away with going 2 wide, but anything outside of that, it's very drafting. And super speedway, and we've known with these models, even in the current trucks, the new next gens, they don't really allow to get that second line running unless you want to get really close and get that side draft. So, but even then, it's really hard unless the guy wants to push you really hard behind. You can trust him, as Michael Shaw nearly comes down on Brett Campbell there through 3 and 4. It's really hard to be able to get that run. So, yeah, really interesting to see how this is. And like I said, I'm really interested to see how this next-gen model does evolve over the next 3 to 6 months, because it's definitely a great car to drive. And I reckon with a little bit more from iRacing and a little bit more scanning, and they can only go with what they've got. And to be honest, NASCAR at the moment, they're still just testing, and they haven't even run this in the real world from a race perspective. So we've probably done more testing on the iRacing service than what NASCAR has in the real world. But you got the likes of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and all those type of guys in here trying to work it. So where the Gen 6 is now at the moment, from years and years of experience and stuff, and making it as realistic for the iRacing service, no doubt they're going to get these NASCAR Next Gen Series cars, or Next Gen cars, right up to that level at them in the next 6 to 12 months. So I look forward to seeing that one. But at the moment, it is still Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone leading the way in this one. Derek Jacobs doing a great job, though. DJ having a nice solid run. He's now moved up into the 5th position. How good is it to see Derek Jacobs out of the United States to America finally doing the job for Samantha?
Well, let's go check in with Samantha, shall we? And look, there she is in her purple dress on the left there, and
she hasn't changed her emotion, mate.
No, she's still standing there on the side there, and that's quite a lovely dress there, that purple dress. I've got to say, and
I can't say it's faded a bit because it's actually dark where they're racing, so I don't know whether. But she hasn't moved. It's like she's got hairspray on her dress and her hair, like could be windy there or something. She hasn't moved. But anyway, she obviously looks excited, and Derek Jacobs doing the job at the moment, 5th place, making his way up. He's just there on the outside and makes his way around Norman Clark. I believe that was Norman Clark, but Phelpsy now having a nice little ding-dong battle. Ruben Phelps, he's a lap down. Oh, what happened to Ruben Phelps? He's gone to... Hang on, let's get this right. I'm just waiting for my live timing to catch up. But that's Adam Malone and Darren McKenzie in front of Ruben Phelps. So, that's right, he's pitted. So he's going to be laps down. So this is exactly what he needs to do. He needs to be right up behind them and keep using this slipstream. But he's probably in a little bit of no man's land, because unless he gets past and gets a little bit of a gap, he's not going to pull anything on him. So... he's a little bit in no man's land at the moment, Ruben Phelps. So we'll have a look at who's behind him and who else was going to play up with it. Jamie Nankervis was going to be a part of it as well, and Jamie you can see there in the background as well. So don't write Jamie Nankervis off in this one. Ruben and Jamie definitely need to work together here to get around Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone, as it looks like the Southern Stars guys are going. So right now, here's the point. Right now, Jamie Nankervis needs to get right in behind Ruben Phelps these next 3 or 4 laps and go. Now's go time. You're not going to pick up 10 seconds, but you need to be able to minimise it. Go, 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 because you don't know what's going to happen in the pit stop. You don't know who's going to be able to come out. If Adam Malone and Darren McKenzie do lose 3 seconds to each other or something through the pit stop, right now is where Jamie Nankervis needs to think end game. Push Ruben Phelps, because if they don't do this now, they are not going to be a chance to win this one. Derek Jacobs is up into the 3rd position, but he's gone into pit lane now. So watch this battle. This is exactly what it's about. Jamie Nankervis needs to get a lot closer to Ruben Phelps and help him at the moment. Not sure whether Jamie Nankervis is struggling a little bit. He shouldn't be, because he actually has two laps better tyres than Ruben Phelps. So Jamie really needs to push here. This is his... Darren's coming out, so is Adam Malone. So they didn't lose a lot through the pit lane there, but now cars are going to be based in between them. Looks like, no, that's it there, right there. That's the race right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's it right there. So Adam Malone's going to range right up onto the back of Darren McKenzie. Jamie Nankervis needed to push a lot harder there on the back of Ruben Phelps. They weren't going to catch the 10 seconds, but that is definitely the lead of the race. We're 110 into 134. It's 20 seconds now behind Ruben Phelps and Jamie Nankervis off the back of the lead of this motor race. So there we go. That is the difference right there on teamwork and no teamwork. So these two guys, the 0-2 of Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone, it's one for those guys to lose at the moment. Phelpsy currently in the 3rd place with Jamie Nankervis in 4th. It's interesting to see this because, yeah, I really would have thought Jamie would have pushed him a lot harder and tried to get up there. And you can, it's quite easy to gain a second a lap or a second and a half a lap. And as you see there, Jamie at every opportunity, he's getting out of the draft. He should be right in the draft of Ruben Phelps and trying to push him around. But anyway, it's easy for us to sit here in the broadcast booth and tell you that. But we'll see what happens. But I tell you what, they also got to look out for Tommy Pritchard, because if they don't work really well together over the next 18 laps, Tom Pritchard's 4 seconds off the back of this one, but in saying that, he's probably running around a little bit solo there as well, so he doesn't really have anyone to help. So it is Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone at the front of the race at the moment, and it looks like it's theirs to lose, Paul, as we're 112 into 134.
Yeah, for sure, and lap traffic can play a part on that as well. But an interesting little point here, and I had that myself in I think it was a Wednesday night race. Thursday night, last week Thursday. So we're at Talladega in the Cup car, and we're running around, and obviously the draft in the Cup car there's with the update and the bubble effect and that, and with teamwork and all that sort of stuff. So I ended up a lap down because I sped coming into pits, unfortunately, when I was in the...
Well, that's not very fortunate, Paul. You're not meant to do that, mate.
No, and I was coming in pretty hot there, and when I was in the top 4 as well. And anyways, I suffered on that. But yeah, learnt this one pretty quick from my teammate Barry there. So... when Barry was running around in first and had no one around to work with him, obviously, as he was out the front by his lonesome self. But however, I was about 10 seconds up the road in front of him, but obviously... I was actually still on the lead lap. Oh, hang on. We might have a caution.
Oh, don't tell me we're going caution here. We're caution for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series, and Brett Campbell's around. Aussie esports driver Brett Campbell is around, and we are caution 116 into 134. A race that we thought Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone, the Southern Stars esports racing team, were literally out in front in their race to lose. I tell you what, Paul, this now mixes up the battle at the front of this one, as we've only got 17 odd laps to go here for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series, and it is the penultimate round here at Las Vegas. So I tell you what, this next little section is pretty much going to decide who wins the championship, mate, I'd much say, because we've got Norman Clark. He will be on the lead lap when we go back to green. Brad Fenley dropped back. He's going to be a couple of laps down, but only for, yeah, exactly. But nonetheless, though, it's going to create some really great racing. One thing I think Jamie could possibly learn from this one is maybe push a little bit harder and help, because if him and Ruben would have worked better together there, they would have lost less ground. So if you do watch this back, Jamie, be aware of your relative. But Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone is leading the way at the moment. Phelpsy and Jamie's come into pit lane. So they've obviously got a tyre set left, or they were worried about fuel. So not sure what happens there. Ruben's got a lucky dog, apparently. Yeah, I was wondering what Brad said. Lucky dog Ruben. Oh, lucky dog Ruben is in like Ruben being in the middle of nowhere. Sorry, Bradley. My apologies, mate. I'm a bit slow. But I tell you what, this is not what Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone wanted to see.
Definitely not. And there will only be Shorey getting the wave around there for the lucky dog, as the leaders are opting to stay out. So the likes of Derek Jacobs and Norman Clark there won't be getting a lap back.
Well, let's bring Phelpsy up, because he's the man we need to speak to, I think, in this moment. We've spoken to the Southern Stars guys, so let's bring Phelpsy up. Phelpsy, Schultzy in the booth, Paul in the booth, mate. Don't mean to bring you up unannounced, but, mate, that was the caution you needed.
Oh, yeah, but I have to be honest, this race is, let's just say it's not very exciting. If you don't have a dance partner with you, the race is pretty much over. So in that sense, it was pretty much the Southern Stars race there. But yes, this caution has come out the perfect time. I decided to do no tyres at that first green flag stop. I think I did like 80-something laps on that set. So it'll be interesting to see what happens now.
Well, it's funny you say that, because we did speak to DM Darren McKenzie earlier in the broadcast, and he said the same thing. It's a little bit like a super speedway, and it's a 1.5, 1.6 mile oval, and it generally in the Gen 6 and the Cup doesn't drive like a super speedway, and he's saying it's just flat out. Are you feeling the same thing in the 06 Aussie Esports car?
Yeah, I haven't felt any. It hasn't got tight or anything. I feel like I've had the foot down the whole time and nothing's gone down. The tyre wear isn't even dropping. It's sticking the whole time, and then it's just if you jump out of line, you're going backwards. So if you don't, like I said, if you don't have a dance partner, it's pretty much done for you.
Well, talking of dance partners, and I say dance because that's how you say it in America and New Zealand. I say dance, you say dance. You're going to come off the green flag here for the restart out of P3. You got Jamie Nankervis. He'll start on your outside in P4. You're not in the channel with him, and you won't be talking to him. You don't have your teammates of Brett Campbell and Tristan Koch around you to help you out. What's your goal? Like, what's your strategy here to try and get around the Southern Stars Esports guys?
Just give it some Jandu and let it rip.
Well, mate, there's nothing wrong with getting a bit of jandal. Make sure you put the chili bin in the back boot of the Aussie Esports car, and make sure when your jandal gets a little bit too hot, you got the chili bin there to cool it down, mate. But hopefully we get the 06 there up the front and give it a bit of a run with the Southern Stars Esports racing guys. But I tell you what, they're not going to make it easy for you.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be hard to beat them if they're tangoing. Then you definitely can find a way past them. But if you can get them split up, then you definitely have a chance.
Well, we'll see what Jamie does. I think that's going to have a big player into what's going to happen here as you go green. So keep one eye on Jamie. But anyway, mate, we'll let you jump up with the boys and concentrate. And hopefully you bring the 06 Aussie Esports car into victory lane.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, if Ruben takes the chockies, we might have to bust out the Jandal Hucker for him.
I don't even know what the Jandal Hucker is. You can do that, mate. I'll just bring the chili bin. So, It will be Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone off the front row. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this time across the strike, there will be 15 laps to go. Do not take your eyes away from the InterSim Esports Network. Might be a small field. Here you can see going to green. There's a lot of other drivers in it. But this is going to be one of the most intense 15 laps of motorsport that you have seen here on the InterSim Esports Network around Las Vegas, which is not a notorious super speedway, but these cars drive that way, and we are green. And Darren McKenzie gets the jump over Adam Malone. Ruben Phelps is going to want to jump up the inside. He can't quite get clear, so Adam Malone jumps straight down. So Adam Malone has noticed early, I cannot let Ruben get past. So here it is. Look out for one hand behind as well. Tom Pritchard, one hand. So Ruben Phelps, don't go outside. Ruben, you are now getting left for dead. It's now Southern Stars Esports Racing just completely going to drive past Ruben on the outside because he's got no one to work with. He's going to have to drop down at the moment. He's got Jamie Nankervis in for behind him as well. So it is status quo. So Ruben Phelps didn't really handle that restart as well as he should have, but it is still the Southern Stars Esports guys, 1, 2 and 3. Ruben Phelps in 4th, Jamie Nankervis in 5th position at the moment. As Ruben trying to show the nose down on Pritchard there. So you can see the teamwork here, Paul. There is no love loss here.
Well, I was just sitting here and I was thinking, tonight's the night, Aiden. Tonight's the night. Southern Stars, 1, 2, 3. But Ruben is really working hard here to get around Tom Pritchard. So
he gives him a little bit of a nudge there through the 1 and 2 turns, saying, Tom, you better hurry up or I'm going to force you around the corner. He's playing blocker at the moment to Adam Malone and Darren McKenzie. So Tom Pritchard is not in the best spot at the moment. He's probably in a fight for nothing at the moment. He's got nothing. He's trying to play the block, but Ruben Phelps has got the overlap now, but Ruben needs to get up nice and smoothly. That's allowing the other Southern Stars Esports Racing teammate a lap down, trying to go around the outside and play a part in this one as well. Jamie Nankervis. So this is where Jamie needs to work really, really hard with Ruben. If they want to have anything to fight to the front of this one, they need to fight together. Jamie Nankervis needs to push really, really, really hard, because I tell you what, this could be the first 1, 2, 3 we've ever seen for the Southern Stars Esports Racing team. But Ruben Phelps is not going to die on this one. He's not going to die at all, not without giving it a go. This could end in tears or it could end in absolute glory. Not sure whether Phelps is going to get the win. The one I'd be like to be at the moment is Jamie Nankervis. He'll be sitting back there at the moment, licking his lips, going, come on, boys, race harder. But they're trying to get the outside line running here. So Jamie's trying to get the job done with Ruben, but he's just not close enough. He's not able to run that. As they nearly get contact, and Ruben drops right down in front of, is that Derek Jacobs' lap down? Drops right down in front of Derek. So Jamie's now out of this one as well. He's had to drop back. So, oh my God, this is definitely all happening at the front. Ruben's just going to have to send this thing to even have a go, because these 3 drivers in front are not going to let him past. I reckon we've got another incident coming here, because Ruben is going to have another go. DJ is going to want to push as well and try and get in front of Ruben. But there's nowhere really for Ruben to go. It's a Southern Stars, I could say sandwich, but it's not really a sandwich at the moment. As Ruben gets into the back of one hand through turn 1 and 2. Good by both drivers to get through that turn nice and cleanly, and it's game on again down the back stretch. As we go across the strike next time around, it'll be 128 into 134. It is Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone. They're race to lose at the moment. Tom Pritchard playing shotgun there in the background, doing a great job by you, by no means holding off Ruben Phelps. If he does get that jump on Tom Pritchard and makes that position, that's going to change this motor race quite dramatically. But he can't quite get that done at the moment. And don't look right off Derek Jacobs. He's a lap down the background, but he's entitled to help as well. So we'll see what happens as we go through the 3 and 4 turns this time around. But I just have a feeling, Paul, Ruben, there's contact, and is that going to be a caution in the background? They're going, Norman Clark's across the grass, Derek Jacobs is across the grass. We're still green. Norman Clark's just kept his boot in it and said, I'm on the grass, I'm going to go. As he nearly pulled down. And we are cautioned. Phelpsy's in the fence.
Taking fluid.
Pritchard's in the fence. I knew that's what would happen. I just knew Ruben was going to lose his patience at Tom Pritchard, and it was night over, especially for Tom Pritchard. But I knew that was going to come up because Tommy Pritchard fighting a little bit hard there in front of Ruben Phelps. But I tell you what, that's motorsport. But let's go back to the Inside Lane Productions instant replay, see what happened. So we've got Phelpsy on the inside, down the bottom. Phelpsy's got to come up cleanly. Ooh, not sure about that one. We're not ones to judge, but I tell you what, Tom Pritchard didn't give him much. Pritchard's gone for a little bit of a one-hand roll. He's done about 600 foot upside down without hitting the ground. 3.5 somersault and twist. That's not going to help the number 6 Southern Stars Esports car. He's had a good trundle at that one. And that's not over for Tom Pritchard. Probably not so bad for Ruben Phelps. Not one for him to really fight for now. Is Norman Clark going to get through there? Norman Clark, he gets through everything, Paul.
Like a glove.
Like a glove. And the thing is, Norman Clark's saying to the rest of the field at the moment, if we want to reference movies, as Phelpsy's coming into the pits to just try and get a little bit of damage done, if we want to reference movies and we reference Norman Clark, he was back a lap down not that long ago. And now he's just coming back up and he's going, remember me, Swan? Remember me, Swan? And he's back in contention for this one. I'll tell you what, not sure that anyone has anything for Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone. Jamie Nankervis, he's sitting there in third at the moment, but Jamie needs to think about his racecraft a little bit because I'll be honest with you, Paul, a little bit disappointed in Jamie's racecraft. He could have done a lot better. He's sitting back there being a little bit too tentative, and you want to win races, you've got to get up there and have a go. So this is probably the chance for Jamie to do so. 131 into 134. In saying that, he's probably been waiting for this, and he'll probably make me look like an idiot and probably win it. But tell you what, the
thing that I was rather disappointed there was the only way Ruben was going to get to the front was with Jamie's help. And when Ruben was on that outside line there, and then got in. And Jamie got in with Derek Jacobs there, I think, and Ruben just left Jamie out. So if Ruben had have stayed on that outside, brought Jamie back up, then they could have worked together again to try and get around the front of this without Derek being in the middle of them.
Yeah, could have, but in saying that too, it's all easy for us to say up here in the broadcast booth, isn't it? Everything's happening at 300 kilometres an hour. You've got to think really quickly. I just knew that Ruben was going to run out of patience there. He really had to dive and have a go, and he did that, and he didn't crash anyone intentionally, and I don't think Tom Pritchard did it intentionally either, but I'll tell you what, that's exactly what racing is about. Kylie's joined in, could have been a bit more patient and had a better result. That's exactly right, but in saying that, Kylie, your guys are at the front, and he wants to beat them. So if you don't try something different, you don't win, but these guys at the front, Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone, I tell you what, they've been in class of the field all night.
Yeah, and we do know that that rule of running below that line there of it's on you to try and get back on that track safely, and the drivers that are on the track surface there that don't have to give you the room to get back on the track. So that was the risk that Ruben took there, and it paid off a couple of times, but the luck just run out there as Tom just wasn't given any room there to get back on the track that time.
Yeah, exactly right. You hit the nail on the head. It was a racing incident, as you'd say, but as the rules do say, if you do try and pass below that white line, it's your prerogative to get up safely, and it wasn't up to Tom Pritchard to allow him to get back into the racing line. So Tom Pritchard did nothing wrong there, and that's exactly how the racing goes and why it's so competitive at the front. But I tell you what, one guy to look out for now, the guy coming off the win last week, Michael Shaw, up into the 4th position. Look out for Shawry in the 07 simracermerch.com car, because he could be in for a bit of a smoky here to take the W if anything goes pear-shaped in front.
Well, there's going to be nothing left on the table here as Ruben's back up there in 5th. So definitely going to see Ruben and even Jamie not hold back here in this green-white checker run.
Yeah, we won't. I think Ruben's got a little bit too much damage to compete. I think it's a battle now between Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone, Jamie Nankervis and Michael Shaw in this one. Of course, never write off Remember Me, Swan, in 6th position of Norman Clark. Don't write him off. He's not the championship leader for no reason. So don't write him off as well. As we're about to go green, we will have 2 laps to go. 3 laps to go this time across the strike. It's in the hand. They've gone early, and it is Darren McKenzie. He's taken the lead. We're going to see Adam Malone drop straight down. You'll see it right there. I thought he would have gone a little bit earlier, but he's dropped down, and now they have cleared and got the lead on this one. Jamie Nankervis in the 3rd spot. Michael Shaw in 4th. Phelpsy in 5th. Phelpsy's not really going to have anything in this one, I don't think, with the damage. You can see him dropping off there at the moment. That is Derek Jacobs. Derek Jacobs on the lead lap now too, in the 6th position. We'll see whether Jamie Nankervis has anything for the Southern Stars Esports guys at the front of this one. As this time across the strike, we will go white flag. Jamie Nankervis a little bit too far behind. Michael Shaw in 4th. Is he going to try and get a podium? Is he going to try and get 2 podiums in a row here for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series? It is Southern Stars Esports down the back stretch. They're going to get the draft going into 3 and 4. They've got the lead at the moment. No one's going to be able to get past them as they go through the 3 and 4 turns. It's going to be status quo as they come across the line. They couldn't get a 1, 2, 3, but they'll go 1, 2 tonight. And it will be Darren McKenzie and Adam Malone coming across the line in 1 and 2. Jamie Nankervis coming home in 3rd. And Michael Shaw in the 4th position. Ruben Phelps comes home in 5th. Darren McKenzie in 6th. Norman Clark with a nice solid result there. He's gained another couple of points on Brad Fenley, who finished in the 9th position. Glenn Klein separated them in the middle in 8th position as well. So Darren McKenzie going back-to-back. He beat me last night in the trucks by 0.0068 of a second, and he backs it up tonight in the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series, and he's happy about that one and goes W back-to-back for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. Not back-to-back in the league, but back-to-back races Thursday and Friday night. So Darren's going to be really happy about that one, Paul. But I tell you what, it was some good racing. We only had 1 caution early. We had 2 cautions late, and it definitely spiced it up for the viewers. All right, so we'll go through your results here for the penultimate and second last round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. Your winner tonight was Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone in P2 for Southern Stars Esports Racing 1 and 2. Jamie Nankervis in 3rd place, Michael Shaw in 4th with Ruben Phelps rounding out your top 5. Derek Jacobs came home in 6th position. Good to see Derek with a good run tonight. We'll talk to him in the broadcast booth hopefully as well. We're bringing up for a chat because he hasn't had a solid race for a while, so he deserves to have a chat with us. Norman Clark, your championship leader in 7th. Glenn Klein in 8th. Brad Fenley 9th. Brian Bullock in 10th. Tommy Pritchard, one hand, comes home 11th. Tristan Koch in 12th. Maxie Marshall came home in the 13th position. Brett Campbell 14th. Dave Oliver do photo in 15th. Ray Zerkott came home in the 16th position. Jason Middleton with a race that could have been in the 17th position. He decided to retire the car, as did Andy Barber in 18th. Joshua Carl-Walden, early one out of this one. Justin Witcher not able to get into the race there in the 20th position, Paul. So what a race it was here on the IndySim Esports Network for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. So we'll just bring the boys up into the broadcast booth. We'll just do it ourselves. Won't wait them to get down into the green room. We'll bring them up into the broadcast booth and we'll have a chat to them. We're going to bring Derek up as well, as I did mention. And Derek's in here as well. And we're going to try and find Jamie. Where's Jamie gone? Has he gone to the green room? Where's Jamie gone? There he is. We'll move him up into the broadcast booth. So we've got your top 3 place getters here for the second to last round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. But we brought up Derek Jacobs, the 99 Southern Stars Esports Racing entry here tonight. We've done that because number 1, Derek, if you have a look at the broadcast back, mate, Samantha actually rocked out and we had her on the broadcast tonight, and you'll have to have a look because she wore her best purple dress. It didn't get a crease in it all night. She was excited for you, but we brought you up into the broadcast more to the point. Mate, you've had a lot of bad luck and nice solid result for the 99 tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad tonight. It's Las Vegas, great track. I love me a Sin City, just like Samantha's going to tell you later on tonight when I'm hanging out with her and her cousin at the same time tonight here in Las Vegas, going to the Bellagio, playing the high roll and spinning dice together. So, you know what? We rolled the dice tonight with the Southern Stars, and we pulled out a good show.
You did. You went a lap down probably mid-race or whatever, but you kept going around and didn't get caught in the big one. Usually we've seen you caught in the big one early, and it's been a good race by all drivers. In the last couple of rounds, we've seen quite a few cautions. I bet it was good tonight to drive around the race where you could actually get into the groove of a race and try and manage those tyres, see where you figured out. We did hear from Darren earlier in the broadcast. We brought him up in the broadcast booth. It was a little bit like a super speedway, though, in these cars around Vegas, where Vegas usually in the Gen 6 and the trucks does not race like that. But it would have been good to get some nice, good green flag laps under your belt.
No, absolutely. You have to have help with the track like this, especially with these cars. They're so aero dependent. So if you don't have a lot of help, you're pretty much cut and dry all by yourself. And, for about half the race, I was pretty much by myself. So I lost quite a bit of ground there. But luckily, the rest of the team, Adam, Darren, Tom, Andy, everybody else ran a pretty fabulous race too as well.
Well, Paul, I have to bring you up and have a chat to Derek before we let him go, because we know it's all hours of the morning there over the United States. But, mate, you got to have a chat. You did bring Samantha. You spoke to her during the week. She did a few selfies and allowed you to bring her up onto the broadcast. And you did speak to her and said, wear your best purple dress, and she did that. So have a chat with Derek.
She wanted to leave it all out on the table for me tonight. She wanted to give me a little incentive to race hard, and she just was taunting me because her cousin's here in town. Like I said, me, her, and Tracy are going to go out tonight and celebrate the top 6 position tonight and see what else kind of trouble we can get into in the Sin City of Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah,
well, I could say I'm not sure her dress will end up purple. But anyway, Paul, jump across to Derek and get me out of trouble.
Well, she did tell me she wore that purple dress specifically for Ryan Barber, so you might have some competition there, and I'm sure Ryan's waiting to join you on the town in Vegas.
Yeah, I would like to take him out, show him around town. I will let him know that the panties do match the dress too, by the way. Let the young fella get a little taste of what it's like here in the real world. Get him going.
I'm sure. Sorry, Paul. I'm sure Ryan's got about another 4 years to be able to worry about that though, over there in the United States of America. To be honest, with his age, but I'm sure his mum Kylie's absolutely devastated with what you're saying tonight, Derek, leading her son down the garden path.
Well, Derek,
you know what? I'll take care of the young lad. You know what? Andy's my good buddy, and you know what? We look after our young, inspiring drivers. So we just want to make sure that they're safe and they use protection, and everybody has a good old time.
Well, Derek, she did whisper in my ear there that she was a bit naughty tonight and might not have been wearing any.
Well, you know what? I can give you this answer. I can tell you this right now, Father. She definitely will not be wearing any here in about 13 minutes from now.
Well, we're just lucky it didn't have a strong southwesterly tonight, because the iRacing viewers might have had something else to say. But anyway, we've gone way too far down the garden path. So, Derek, mate, good run tonight. We're going to go straight across to the podium getters and get this broadcast back on track, because Paul, oh my God. But anyway,
thank you very much. Tell the rest of the Southern Stars boys, great race tonight. We pulled out a good team victory tonight, and I'm proud of everybody, and great race.
No worries, mate. Hopefully we talk to you shortly. Thanks for taking the time to chat to us. But we'll go to the top 3 place getters tonight. Coming in third place, Jamie Nankervis. Good P3 tonight, mate. Probably one that could have been better. Probably one you probably rue with a little bit of work you could have done with Ruben in different points, different ways. But anyway, it was a nice solid result there for the number 18, and you've got to be happy with the P3, mate.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It wasn't too bad. I just didn't have enough pace, to be honest. I was trying to help Ruben near the end there, trying to push him through there, but I just didn't have the pace. Those two, Darren and Adam, were just awesome working together there, and they were just, couldn't pass them.
But what do you think it was, though, mate? Like, we did speak to Darren earlier in the broadcast. Well, he was live driving around. We do thank you, Darren, for doing that again. I wish you could have done that last night so you could have crashed and I could have beat you. But, mate, it was a little bit like a super speedway I heard around Vegas tonight in these cars. So to say that you didn't have the pace is a little bit weird to say, because were you just struggling with the aero washing behind to get the car rotated? Was it... or because it obviously is a fixed setup. So where do you struggle pace-wise?
Yeah, it seemed to be the aero, dropping off the back of a pack there. I had the best rubber towards the end out of anyone that was in that last group, but just couldn't use it. Just couldn't. The aero wash was just holding you back.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, anyway, mate, good job nonetheless. P3 tonight. It's going to help you. You come into the second to last round tonight and 5th in the championship. That's going to help you in the point standings. So I'm sure you're happy with that one. But a big shout out to everyone for your P3 tonight.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I won't be there next week, so this will be it for the season for this one. But I'd just like to thank Shorey for everything he's done in Full Throttle for the whole year. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be running the league. So... it's Shorey that's got me in there, so just a huge thanks to him for everything he's done with Full Throttle and sim racing throughout the year.
No worries, mate. Well said. Shorey has done a great job, and hopefully we see you back on what will be a newly founded global iRacing leagues in 2022. Hope to see the 18 up there as well. But in the meantime, mate, congratulations on your P3. It moves us across to Adam Malone. Adsy, mate, P2 tonight. That's Teamwork 101 with Darren. Couldn't have done that one any better.
No, that's right, mate. You said it there. We worked great together then.
Well, mate, you had 20 seconds down the road, and before that second to last caution came out, I bet you weren't praying on that caution. When that came out, you would have been going, oh, my God.
No, we discussed that. Yeah, we didn't really need that caution, but it is what it is, really.
So what's the difference, mate? You've had a few struggles the last couple of rounds. Always quick. You've actually done a few poles and a few faster slaps in practice. Haven't really been able to convert it into a race result. What was the difference tonight? Was it Darren in your here, just settling you down a little bit? What was the difference to get a nice solid result tonight?
No, it's either the internet going out or I'm entering pit lane too fast and copping penalties and stuff like that. It's just those little things I've got to work on.
Well, we saw that last night. I think I was behind you, and it said Adam Malone disconnected due to incoming packet loss. So the internet didn't want to play the game on you last night, and that's the sucks about this, like we race. And sometimes when the internet plays up, you have no choice, and you're up with Samantha having a chat to her.
Oh, mate, that's the first thing I went to, yeah. They had a massive storm last night, and, obviously the internet went out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, mate. But, mate, doing a great job. Nice, solid result tonight, P2. Big shout-out, mate. And what a sensational livery. You got new liveries you're sporting for 2022. You brought them out early tonight, and they look stunning, and we had a few comments on the broadcast how amazing they are. So big shout out to Andy for the paints, obviously, for you guys from Southern Stars Esports Racing. But big shout out from yourself and everyone involved on your P2 tonight.
Yeah, big shout out to Andy for the paint jobs, and also SkyPoint, Tiona Holiday Park, and the Southern Star Esports Racing team.
No worries at all, mate. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, your P2 tonight. It was the number four, Southern Stars Esports Racing entry of Adam Malone. Moves us straight across to DM, Darren McKenzie. Mate, 2 in a row. W last night, Chockies again tonight. Can't go wrong with that, mate. Got to be happy with that one.
Loving life at the moment for sure. It's
very rare to get a win in the last few weeks, and to get 2 in a row is just phenomenal effort. So I'm pretty chuffed at the moment. Great team effort. Like we had a couple of chances of taking the top 3 spots on the podium tonight, and just didn't fall our way. So we know we've got a strong lineup leading into 2022 at the moment.
Yeah, you definitely do. And we saw Tom Pritchard there in the 3rd position. He had Phelpsy all in behind him, and it was really pretty much you 3 against Phelpsy. And, you can't blame Ruben for there. He needed to have a go, but in the same time, it wasn't Tom's prerogative to let him off under the white up onto the racetrack, and that's where the incident happened, even though there was an incident behind there. But you guys definitely did do everything you could do to get a top 3 tonight.
Yeah, that's it. So it's like, even if it come down to it, like I said earlier tonight, I was willing to give Adam the win there if he needed the points, but I didn't realise I was actually fighting for top 3 at the moment. So it's probably pretty timely that I get a win. I'm within striking distance of Norman next week.
Yeah, I'm sure you will be. But can you stop going so quick? You beat me last night, and then you got a W tonight. Like, can you just stop being so quick? Because, I'd rather just make it easier for me. Can you please just stop going so quick?
I'll think about it.
That's a no. So, yeah, but anyway, it was a good race last night, mate. It was one of the best races I've had, and we're not taking away from your race tonight, because it probably wasn't as intense having Adam behind you than what it was last night. But 2 good races. You're going into the weekend, you're going to go to the Australasian Supercar E-Series on Sunday, and you're definitely going to be going into there on a high.
Yeah, and tomorrow night we got the Weekend Warrior truck. So, still a couple of big races to go this weekend, and hopefully I can bring it home for the team and the sponsors.
Hopefully you can. You won't have me to worry about tomorrow night. I'm going off to sing Christmas carols. So I'll be getting my Santa ho 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 out. But, mate, nonetheless, 2 wins in a row. Hopefully you can back that up. You're probably going to be the first person, if you can win tomorrow night on the Saturday night and then win on Sunday night, go 4 in a row, 4 nights. It's probably the first time that's going to be done. So hopefully you can do that. But big shout out to everyone involved for your P1 tonight.
Yeah, no pressure at all, hey?
None.
Yeah, we got Sky Point, Tiana Holiday Parks, and Mish's XL Garage, and Andy, the team painter. He does another phenomenal job for the cars for next year.
No worries at all. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner tonight, the 02 Southern Stars Esport Racing outfit of Darren McKenzie for what was the second to last round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. But ladies and gentlemen, that brings to the end the broadcast here from Las Vegas. I hope you enjoyed all the action, but it all doesn't stop here. We are winding down here on the IndySim Esports Network, but we are going racing again on Sunday night. We're at the Nashville Super Speedway for round 8 of the Ray White Rule Gain to Australasian Supercar E-Series. You can catch all the action here live on the IndySim Esports Network from approximately 6:45 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time or 7:45 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, wherever you may be. But then we're going to go to the series finale next Friday night for the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. And your location will be Talladega for the Shake and Bake 200. It'll be 76 laps around the Super Speedway. We'll be live here on the IndySim Esports Network, and we'll crown your champion of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series. Will be live from 7:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 8:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, wherever you may be. But from myself, Paul, and everyone at the IndySim Esports Network, we hope you enjoyed all the action here on the IndySim Esports Network, because we enjoyed bringing all the action to you. We hope to see you on Sunday night for the Australasian Supercar E-Series, for what is going to be an absolutely amazing round for our second last broadcast for those guys going into the Christmas period. And then next Friday night for the final round of the simrigs.com NASCAR Next Gen Series for Super Speedway Racing. But from myself, Paul, and everyone at the IndySim Esports Network, thank you for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you Sunday night.